All right. Hi, everyone. I am back, and we are talking about love today. What a beautiful, wonderful topic this is. My favorite. It's probably one of my favorites because it's one of the topics that is brought up by the angels during a lot of the readings that I have. And so we are back, and I am going to be bringing Fabiana on with me, and we are going to be talking about love. We're going to start off talking about self-love and self-care, and then we're going to be talking about the angels' love for us, and then we are going to be discussing, excuse me, my throat's a little, we're going to be discussing and channeling. If I could just get Fabiana to hold steady here. Oh, there she is. Go bring her on. And then we're going to be channeling from God's thoughts on love. We made it. We're here.
Hello. Yes. I told you.
I have to say, this is like, honestly, one of the best topics that I mean, yes. I really love talking about this because, you know, the other thing I want to talk about too, I was just discussing how we're going to start off and how does one get from, you know, not loving themselves over to loving themselves. And not only that, but what's some of the steps that they can do to do that, or maybe they feel like they just need a little bit more in that direction. And so here I am. I'm going to first start off, we are first going to start off discussing like the nucleus, which is self-love. And then we're going to branch out to the angels' love for us, channel a little bit from God about God's feelings on love and self-love. And then, of course, peppered in there are ways in which we can take action steps in order to focus on self-love. So hello, everybody, and I am super excited to talk about this.
Hi, everyone. Yeah.
Watch the magic happen. Here comes the magic.
Exactly.
I feel it.
It took a while for us to connect people, but finally we're here. And when we were discussing, when we were discussing topics, and by the way, thank you everyone for voting because it's so
we did a poll.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is building up around love. And this is not just a coincidence. And I just want everyone to know. I think everyone knows that already. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I was meditating and I said, how shall we start this? What shall we say to sort of introduce the topic and build it up? And this is what I immediately got is love is not only your essence, not only what you all are made of, but also is the ladder, the tool that will make you not only expand, but also ascend, like raise your vibration and actually become who you ultimately are supposed to become. And I'm like, yeah, it's a bit general though. I know that I need some more. Like, I mean, it's so big. It's so based. How? And that's what I, when I got, self to start with, or rather, not only necessarily self-love as much as the love that starts making you feel good, that starts building up around your heart chakra and expands. And that's exactly your message. And that's exactly what tells you that you are on the right path, that you are rising your vibration.
That feel good. That feeling good.
Self-love. I said, I remember my...
Yeah, because as in our earlier days, it wasn't exactly self-love central.
Right?
Yeah, right. You have to learn. You have to grow. Sometimes you have to have contrast to learn. Oh, maybe self-love is a priority I want to make in my life. the contrast helps you do that.
Yes.
The hard times in life.
It could, totally, totally. And I'm like, okay, but some people are fine not to have so much self-love because they're mothers. They have kids.
Yeah.
And they believe loving their children is actually, you know, and
top
they're
priority.
fine with that.
Yeah.
And this is when I got, absolutely. The thing though is, I would like everyone to remember, just like that example, I was giving a visual example, you know, on the planes when they say, if the mask fall down, please put first yours and then help someone else. You need to be able to breathe and be able to help the others. You said it before. We're here to help each other. We're here. So how are we going to be able to even help the others if our cup is not full?
Yeah.
Right? And that cup,
agree.
though, just today I was made aware of how that cup is real, but it's not real. Is it, like, how is it really? Is it just when my cup is full and then I can fill yours, or by feeling yours, it just overflows and it's enough for both of us? So each of us have a different path in that, and learning how to actually create that vibration match, how to create that leverage of vibration, it's actually the sweet spot.
It so is the sweet spot. For me, you know, challenging times in the past made me force me to narrow in on it, forced me repeatedly, because if I didn't, there was a lot of uncomfortableness physically within my body, within my health issues, but also this up here would affect my health. So my thoughts. And so I really had to
totally
zoom in on my thoughts and determine, do I want to house these thoughts in this moment that are not very loving? And self-care and self-love in what I'm putting into my body, too,
I like what you just said. Because also I had this concept of course I love myself. What are you talking about? You know, I want myself to have best purse, best shoes, best, I don't know, makeup, sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I was sure these were the things that I, you know, could do to make myself happy, because I thought loving myself make myself happy, which is, yes, it is true. Only it took a while to actually understand that loving yourself is also when yourself does something that you don't approve. You know how many times you do something and you're like, oh, I was such a jerk.
Yeah.
Damn it, I didn't want to say that. Or even worse, much worse things that, I mean, it just, the circumstances, and it's never by coincidence. You were put there and the words were put in your mouth and the action were put in front of you for you to do that, so that you cause an effect to the other person in front of you. But in that given moment, it just didn't make you happy. It didn't make you proud. And how many times do we dwell on that and we go like, I can't believe I said that. And I caused so and so. And then we just get stuck in that and we go in circles. Yeah. I learned how actually just viewing it as, okay, no, I'm not proud. I don't know why it happened. I do love myself though, and I am so sorry also for myself for feeling so sad. So let me run to my little self and just take it in to my heart area, to my heart chakra, and going and telling myself, yeah, it happened. Don't worry. Let's see. Don't worry.
Also, you know, what I'm thinking is, like, we're all unique and different. So, you know, someone that approaches in a certain way and says a certain thing, it can affect them more, and it can affect that other person more in which you said it to, more than it can affect another person. And that's hugely noticeable when we talk even just about men and women. It's completely different, isn't it? So what are some of the ways that a person can, say a person is just completely placing their attention on another, like, you know, if you are a mother, I'm not a mother, I know you are. So it's very easy for me to talk about self-love because there is only me. But when you're in a position, when you are a self mom, or sorry, when you are not on your own by yourself and you are, you know, maybe even if you're a single mom, it's even a little bit more challenging. How do you focus on self love? How do you get from, or there are people that literally feel like they just don't love themselves at all. How do they get from here over to here? They can't just leap and bounds. They've got to do the steps here to get to here. So let's talk about how can one. So she's just popped off here. Just give me a second. There she is. Good old technology. We're just going to say it's going to work. So we're just adding her on now. Oh, how bizarre. So I'm thinking internet connection issue. I'm not entirely sure. Off. Yep. And I just adding you back on, Fabi. So for some reason, I don't know why you got knocked off, but we'll try to get you back on, okay? So it says it's adding you on. I know, right? Okay, let's try it again. Back on. Adding you on. There you are. Persistence pays off.
Yeah.
So, sorry, we're just going to go with the flow.
Yeah, I'm very sorry, people. I'm very sorry to annoy you. I don't know what's happening. Maybe my daughter doing her chemistry is really draining.
Who knows? I mean, we are literally in totally two different parts of the world even. Who knows what's happening? The key is going with the flow and persistence. So what are some of the ways that come to your mind to help a person get into the place of self-love?
Many of us, first of all, need to start understanding the mechanisms, what we are doing on a daily basis to our body or with our body. Then it will sort of kick in. It will hit us. When I started to learn how, in reality, the self-talk was the first thing that was important. You know, your cells are listening. Yeah. Your body is listening to you. And while Christine, you were trying to reconnect, I was reminded to share with you all my experience with Allison. Allison is this wonderful channel, just like yourself, Christine. I really like her a lot. And the other day we were talking, and at a certain point I said, Allison, can you connect to my DNA just to see how is my DNA doing? She tuned in, my DNA was sleeping. And I'm like, what? No. What are you talking about? Wake her up. What do you mean sleeping? And she's like, she doesn't want to talk. She is like, I'm busy. Like, she's giving you the cold shoulder. And I'm like, am I sick? What is it? And she was like, she's making me think that she has not really appreciated the self-talk you've been giving to your body. Wow. I immediately was made aware as to what exactly it is. I mean, a year ago, I wouldn't have been able to actually identify what talk is she talking about. Like, I don't talk to myself, but we so much do. Immediately, I identified what was it. I mean, after a while, after so many years of fighting with the weight, I did find my sweet spot. I started to lose the weight. I lost the weight, and I now recently had been into this self-body talk of, the skin has to go. Like, I mean, I don't need the skin. It looks ugly. The skin needs to go. And then immediately Allison went off and she was doing something else. But then I got parts of my body talking to me. It's just like that person that you had in the house for so long until now, that person that helped you do chores, that person that helped you do everything around the house and kept you even warm sometimes in winter. Yeah, Sasha says, I just discovered Allison. You have no idea how amazing
She's
she is.
amazing.
All
Yeah.
of a sudden, you're telling that person in your house, get out. I don't need you anymore. You know? So you're talking to your own body.
Yeah.
Your body had been given to you like that as it is. Yeah, sometimes we treat it with, as you said, with the food and the drinks, but we're learning, but we are where we are. It has served us, and it is still serving us. It keeps
And we only
serving
have
us.
one, and we only have the one. So how
It
how are you going to
totally.
treat it? What foods are you going
So
to put in it, and what drink are you going to put in it, and what thoughts are you going to house in it?
yes,
Because
totally.
there's
And how
there's
are you going to
many,
talk to?
and there's physical love, and there's mental emotional love, and then there's spiritual love, if you want to move in that direction and put good high vibrational spiritual content into your mind. And
Sometimes it's
so,
even hard,
and
but
it can, but maybe it's just a little bit at a time, and what works for one person may not work for another person. So you really have to try different things that are going to work. So
totally.
what are some of the
And now
things
I'm
that you do in the moment when you have that negative self-talk to kind of shift you out of it?
I think you heard it because I just now was guided to say it is it is absolutely all right when you're starting to feel that because we're humans, right? And we are living
Mm-hmm.
this dimension and we're living this experience.
Yeah.
Just please, if you can, detach from yourself in that moment and simply say,
I don't need to
okay,
go
I see
there.
you're having
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I see you're in a bed, or not bad, but I don't like the word bad, but I can see you're in a low spot right now. You're having bad thoughts or negative thoughts, and how do you know that you're having those thoughts? Because you're
It
feeling
doesn't feel
on your
good. Yeah.
yes, it's not your heart chakra is not expanding, so it's
Maybe you
shrinking,
got
and you feel it
nausea.
actually
You
in your
might
tummy,
tightness in your chest, nausea in your tummy,
which
or tightness
that's
in your
how
throat even, you know. It
I
doesn't
get it on
feel
my
good.
throat
Me too. Tightness in
or
my
in the
throat.
belly
Yes, me too. Like nausea, like,
and the
oh, this
belly
doesn't feel
area.
good. Do I want to go ahead and continue with these thoughts? The other
But
thing that
since
comes, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
just wanted to complete this thought, and since most of us cannot really switch like that, and it's not realistic to say, okay, stop it. I want to be positive. It's not even realistic. Your body's not going to believe you.
yeah, yeah.
All we can do in that moment is there, come here, come here. I can see you're low now. I can see you're feeling this and that now. But you know what? It's going to be just fine because I have you because you're here with me right now and we have help and we will ask for help. So loving you for being is just like that child, like a child coming to you saying, mom, I'm feeling sad because of so and so. And what do?
Mm-hmm.
Some of you, most of you, I don't know how many out there now are mothers, and you have this immediate reaction to the baby. What, baby, come here. No, you're beautiful. So you do that for your baby. You do that for your friend. If I come to you and I say, I feel
True.
so ugly
So
today.
true.
And you're like,
And
you're
so,
not ugly.
and now it's for yourself. And that
Do
is
it for
huge.
yourself.
And, I'm further along down the road now from where I once was. And, the work has to be done. You have to focus in on it. You have to be diligently aware of the thoughts that are rotating in your mind. Be the still observer of what is unfolding in your mind. The other thing that comes to my mind when I'm having a moment like that is, you've come this far, Kristen. Do you want to step back there? And the other thing that comes to my mind is manifesting that thought, because I know if I house it long enough, I'll just manifest it to be a bigger thought than what it was. Also, I'll likely manifest more thoughts similar or like it. And like, as we all know, we are the manifestors of our reality by way of what we think. So in that moment, you have to question, do I really want to manifest more of this? And so it's just a changing of the
Wow, yeah.
tide. It's a changing of the tide. You know, the more you just, if you can't even do what Fabi is describing there by, you know, turning inward and just sending love to yourself, there are ways that you can do it where you can play some music that gets you up and high vibrational. Put the earbuds in, play some nice music, go for a nice walk, watch a funny movie, just to shift your attention off of that. The other way that the angels always say to me during sessions is, please hand off those low vibrational thoughts in the moment to us. And
Thank you.
people say, how do I do that? Well, I talk to them like I would talk to you, Fabiana. I talk to them, you know, I talk to
Call
them,
them.
call them. You can talk to them in your head because they hear everything that's going on in your mind anyways. Or you can say it out loud, or you can write it down on paper. But any which way, the number one thing that helped me with low vibrational content in my mind, because I am a pretty positive person. So for me to not get out of it around the age of, I think it was about 29, 30. And my angel said, well, why don't you hand these thoughts off to us? And I'm like, brilliant idea, because I couldn't get out of it. I was so entrenched in this low vibrational thinking. I couldn't get myself out of it. So what I did, for 20 times a day for 2 weeks, this is what they told me to do, 20 times every day. You hand it off. So I would be like, oh, it was tedious. It was really eye-opening to see how much negative content I had floating around up here. And so I'd be aware of every time I'd have a sinking feeling, oh, there's that low vibrational content, and I'd hand it off to them. Here you go, angels. I'm worrying about money again. Here you go, angels. I'm worrying about that person again. And if I had any problems in my life with anything or anyone, I would go ahead and I would ask them to help me with that. And it works. It really works.
By the way, Christine, just the other day, a friend of mine who asked me to help her at work, she's like, I really don't know how to do this. I can tell I'm thinking low vibration thoughts. I just don't know how to do it. They come back to me. And I said, oh, okay. So let me just connect a little bit. Let's see what happens. Mm-hmm. I got very clearly this exercise for her, and it actually is working perfectly. I don't know. I'm going to share it. Maybe it will work for someone else out there.
Exactly.
Because she was not aware in reality how many negative thoughts she had, apparently. So I heard clearly her guide telling me to tell her, please do something like this. Take a piece of paper like this, and just during you're doing chores, you're doing work, as soon as a thought appears in your head, it does not matter what it is, be work, be children, be husband, be anything, just write it down. What is it about? Nothing else. What is it about? Car, husband, just list. And she's like, but the list can go very long. And I'm like, yeah, just go. Yeah. The next day, continue like that for 2 to 3 days. Let's see what comes up. She had no idea how many times her mind went back to the same thought, to the same spot. The guides asked her after she mustered this, because it takes a while to identify your thoughts. It takes a while to realize, oh my God, what? I thought it again? The guides told her, okay, now that you know how to do that, please attach on a column near it the emotion that thought gives you. Simple, short, happy, anxious, hopeful. Just short. When you don't know, you don't know. Because maybe it's just like, bad weather.
True. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
This is so good. That. Yes.
So I'm like, really? I'm like, can I do this too? And I was asking, and they're like, please, if it serves you, go ahead and do it. So I started to do this myself. So you will see the list of thoughts on one side, the list of emotion on the other one. And after so many days, you will decide on the third column to say, is it
great
serving?
Idea. Oh,
do I like
how
it?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Ask, how can I change this? How can I change that this here is better? It's opener. It's it's, I don't know, a higher vibration. You will be guided and you will be guided. And she's like, oh my God, after this is now what, 2 weeks? And she's like, it's strange. I'm not, my mind is not even thinking as much.
Yep.
I'm like, apparently this is what they wanted you to do because we're too much in our heads.
Yep.
Our
We
mind has
really
one role
are. Yep.
to keep us safe because that's what your mind thinks, that you need to be safe. You need to go on and on and on and on, you know?
And
So
you
that,
know, the ego is important. The ego is important. Like people are like, get rid of your ego. I'm like, no, no. You just, instead of having the ego in your passenger side of your car, just get the ego to sit in the back part of the car, of the very back, in the back seats, in the back row, you know, in the back of the van. So the ego is important.
yes.
But when you're entrenched in your mind and
Oh
your
gosh,
ego's
yeah.
running amok and you're not aware of your own thoughts, I think
Yes.
that is a brilliant way. And what I noticed after 2 weeks of doing what I was asked to do, the angels showed these thoughts being transmuted into the white light, because thoughts are energy forms, right? And you're sending
Yeah.
that signal out, which is just bringing you more of what is, because you are the manifester of your reality. It is the law of attraction. And so by sending them away off to your angels and just handing them off, let them take it or write it down like you had stated there. What a brilliant idea from your team there. Because then you visually
Yeah.
see, oh, this is what I'm thinking and this is how I feel next. Just brief. We don't need to go into much
We're not
detail.
aware. We're not aware. That's our main issue. We're not aware. What are we really doing?
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
thank you for pointing it out, Kristen. The thoughts are just like that food, and sometimes even bigger than that, because
Oh,
not
yeah.
only you're feeding your body with that thought, but you're also attracting, don't forget.
And you're
So
sending it
it's,
out to those around you. Not that we need to focus on that, but I'm just saying I think thoughts and what rotates in here is even more important. More, I mean, it's
then,
all important, but
oh, so much, so much.
so much.
And my sweet Sasha right there just gave me another tip, which is, again, I'm going to mention another fantastic channeler talking about love, how sometimes love can be so hard to give because we forget how love very often is filtered by our own ego. We decide with ego what's right and what's wrong. So we love the right and we hate the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So let me pick one. There is not any one person on the face of earth that can say that the Second World War was right. So what do? We hated all what happened during the Second World War, and guess what else? We hated the person that actually caused most of the deaths. And when like a couple of years ago, I saw on YouTube Jamie Butler interview Hitler. I'm
Oh, I
like,
remember that. That was so monumental. If you guys haven't been to Channeling Eric on YouTube, Eric with a K, huge.
yeah.
Or you can just type
So
Jamie Butler Hitler. I mean, it's just huge because we have this perspective. Oh, it was bad. That was it. I mean, terrible, terrible. But when you connect with spirit, you see a broader perspective. And it's in seeing this broader, much broader perspective than you could possibly realize, you see it from a different perspective of different, you go, okay, you know, okay, I see a different perspective on it.
and that
Is
teaches us
healing.
how
It's
to
very
get
healing.
out of the
Mm-hmm.
ego, heal and love at the same time because you
Yes.
heal when you love. It's just
Yes.
like that again. I want to give back that visual of a family member, a child that is sick and you're nursing it. Just because you love that baby so much, you're there, you're touching their forehead, you're changing them, you're feeding them, I don't know, liquids, right? You're loving and healing and
And
loving and
nurturing,
healing.
nourishing.
So when I first got on that video, I'm like, now let me see that. All
Yeah,
right. So
me too.
immediately,
I thought the same thing. I was like,
right?
really, what are they going to show me more than what I already know and what we've been taught in school and what we've been taught as in society? Well,
Yes.
Highly recommend
That
that one. Yeah.
totally. The audio is a little bit broken, but actually, really, you just forget about that after a while because you're so much focused on what is being said and how it teaches you. Actually, that is was one of the first nudges for me to understand how love, even when it's so difficult, it is possible. Not only it
Always possible.
empowers you to go back in and love you even more.
And you know, it all starts from intention. If you say, oh, this is hard, well, guess what? You just set the intention that it's hard. If you set the intention, even if it's a far stretch and you can't even possibly imagine how to get there, you trust and have faith that your team of angels and your higher self will help you get there. I know this is
Yeah.
possible. And I mean, I'll share with you some of the steps that have helped me get there. Mirror work. Louise L. Hay always, you know, guided people to do mirror work. Look yourself in the eye 3 times a week in the mirror and say, I love you. And even if you don't
Yes.
feel it at first and it's uncomfortable, do it anyways. Because
Yes,
what you
yes.
speak, what you say, you will manifest. So you, even if it's uncomfortable, 3 times a week,
Yeah,
every week, until there will
yeah,
be a moment where I look myself in the mirror and I go, I love you. And I feel it. And then I'm like, I feel it. Feels right, feels
yeah,
good. And the second way is, you know, mantras or affirmations, you know, repeatedly replacing. So you're giving away the negative stuff. You're writing down how, you know, what you're thinking and the brief description of the feeling beside what you're thinking every day in each moment. And then you're replacing that with positive affirmations. So you are shifting the tide in this direction.
yes,
Um,
totally.
the last thing I will suggest is you ask your angels to help heal you in every possible way. And you can ask them to help show you how to self love. Ask them to
Mm-hmm.
show you the way. And the last
Mm-hmm.
thing is, you've got your heart chakra. And I know from past experiences that mine was pretty closed off for a while. I could feel it. It felt like, you know, my angels would try to, like, you know, chisel away at it. So from time to time, they'd be working on it. And I knew they were, but I knew that it was still pretty closed off. So you can ask the angels to help open your upper chakra and heal and get it open and rotating and all of your chakras, of course. You can ask for that as well. So those are my suggestions. Also, being aware of what you put into your body. If I'm going to treat my body like you know, a trash can, eating processed foods, fried foods, salty, super sweet foods, you know, lots of alcohol and any other substances, how exactly am I going to be in the vibrational or even close to the vibrational frequency of moving in the direction of self-love? That's more self-numbing, which a lot of people do, which I'm placing no judgment because I have spent many years myself doing this myself.
Totally. I was about
Once
to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. And once I realized, okay, well, I'm not going to numb myself and run away anymore. I'm going to face things head on. Wow, did things change then? And
I'm liking some comments. I'm laughing. Like, oh,
yeah,
not the beer, Megan
no,
says.
well,
Totally. Yeah.
you know, the
No, you
thing,
know what? That's you will be cleaned up. I'm sorry, I interrupted you,
yeah, yeah. I'm just
Christine.
saying, when
You,
you
the
do the
more you do
sugar,
this, yeah.
yeah, and you do the caffeine, and then you got the beer at night and all that. I've done that, did that. Boy, did I ride that ride. I mean, I should have, like, seriously paid, you know, I should, it was like the ride that went on for a long time. And so what happens is you're up here. So, you know, it's so important to ground yourself and be aware of what you're putting in your body. So going out into nature, you know, leaning on a tree will help to ground you. Epsom salt baths, sea salt, run into the ocean, sitting out in nature, feet on the ground. Ask the earth to ground you. Grounding's so important so that you can come in here and be the still observer of your thoughts. If you're jacked up on sugar, caffeine, and alcohol, and maybe any other substances, you're like here, you are not in alignment.
You know what I found though, Christine, just because we're human and it's so hard to do it from this area, right? From the head, from the mind, from the ego, you know.
True.
So when I decided that's it, I'm eating healthy now.
And then you drop off. Yeah. And even if you can move in a direction where you're like, okay, I have my 1 day a week, or okay, 2 days a week. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you can try to just shift the momentum in that direction, it's not going to happen overnight. I don't think it will. I mean, I would be amazed if it did. But just know that the energy attached to that which you place in your body directly influences and affects you vibrationally. And you have to weigh it out in each moment what you want for yourself, I suppose, is what it comes down to.
Yes. And what I'm getting, it's also this, Christine, we need to be a little careful also when we decide to go clean. I'm seeing also the question of Annette here. Do you have recommendations on how to go clean? How do it work for me? Each of us, we have a different path, right?
And it's different for each. Yeah.
Yes. What I found helped was going hand in hand. Like one time, one foot was going one step up, and then the other time, the other foot. I mean to say, the more I was observing, the more I was understanding, the more I was ascending, the more I was rising my vibration emotionally, the more I got clean, in the sense that I was not anymore craving those foods. Like, I mean, this spirit cleans you.
Yes.
You know, so they sort of help you. As you said, ask for help as well. You know, you are helped as well. So you go like, oh, since when I don't crave such and such, you know, which I would go every day, not every day, like three, 4 times a day, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The second thing I'm being made aware of is slower. Don't do it from the head, from the ego, with the decision taken in the head. Like, let's say you want to remove the beer or you want to remove the cheese. Let's say something, all right?
Whatever it is. Yeah.
But the problem with that is that you're it's maybe a good idea, yes, but you're putting first the judgment. You decided it's bad. So you're saying to your subconscious, slower, please. It is bad. So first you're doing sort of the opposite of what you actually want to do. So you want to not put judgment into that. You simply want to request for help. And by that, I mean to say you ask for help into rising your vibration, feeling good, feeling better, loving more, because love makes you feel even better. And that will come. That will come. We would not like you to start it from a judgmental place.
Yes.
Okay.
That is absolute pure gold wisdom, isn't it? Absolutely agree. So let's move in the direction of, let's see here. I thought I would just briefly touch base on the angel's love for you. And then I have God here, as God is with you, as God is with everybody, as God is everywhere and everything, ready to converse. You know, when I first started this journey, you know, my angel opened up and passed through my body. I got a real good dose of how much they love me. And there weren't any words to even describe that. It was like I sat there in probably, I would say, shock for about 45 minutes. I went from absolute despair for 45 minutes, like a loss of hope kind of cry, to blissed out of my mind and so filled with love that the tears stopped. but it wasn't even the physical sadness that stopped, but it was the emotion. It just went from that despair to blissed out and filled with love. And
Incredible.
it was an eye opener. My angel still laughs all the time when I tell that, because she really got my attention. I didn't even know what it was, because I didn't even give a thought to angels. I wasn't communicating with them at the time. I wasn't interested. And when I realized, what I realized was, holy, I am not alone. And up until that point, I thought I was alone. I didn't think much of religion or what people would talk about, Jesus or God. None of that was interesting to me. I would go a few times here and there. Yeah, yeah. I would say I was more spiritual, leaning in that direction. However, boy, has that
Sure.
all changed. That's all changed. You know, who better to teach you about love than love itself?
Right.
And who is love? And that to me is God. God is light and love. And, you know, Jesus too, just incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I don't mean the biblical term of Jesus, I mean the soul of Jesus that has been in many different bodies, in many different lifetimes, and is here helping us. So for me, when I connect with Jesus, it's a much broader perspective of a big brother in spirit here to help us, an omnipresent being of light and love. And it is absolutely the best thing that I ever chose to do. When he first approached me, I wasn't even interested. But, you know, boy, did I get my eyes opened. So do you want to channel anything from God about love? Is God with you? Because I have God with me. Let's see if you sense anything or you feel anything, or even from your angels, I suppose, right?
This is what I'm being made aware of. What did I learn as well as to love? Talking about angels, even those angels, and you know who I mean. How we learned,
Yes.
my Lucy. How we
Lucy.
learned.
Short for Lucifer.
There you go. How we learned that, in fact, it was so shocking for me to learn that what we call Lucifer is just another face of Michael, another face of God. It is just like moving here and seeing the face, and oh, it's Michael. Going here in the back and seeing that's another person, entity, but it's the same one. And taking this very heavy burden, very heavy task of actually showing or putting in front of us options, alternatives.
Yep.
Free will allies, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I really want to understand this. Why? Like, why? Weren't you happy in the love, completely of love substance? And I heard, well, yes, but I didn't know what I know now and what I'm learning. I needed to expand and see exactly how and what else. How would I even learn if I wasn't of just one substance, of one quality? Like, I don't know. If, let's pick a color, pink. How nice, beautiful, yes, but just pink though. Pink. Morning, afternoon, evening, Sunday, Monday, only pink. Like, how can I not see other colors, even those dark colors, even those brown and gray colors, and cold and bitter and sweet? And how can I not know those? But how can I then get to know those? Well, by someone taking another color, by someone taking another pathway, by someone experimenting that. Those souls, courageous souls of taking those paths, like, well, the interview with Hitler would tell you, one of those souls that took those paths to undertake those tasks, to show humanity what is possible What is it possible, even in
Yes.
those terrible moments,
Yeah.
expansion, learning, but how actually only love can heal that and nothing, nothing else. Whew, that was like,
Big. And for
it
those
took
of
a
you
while.
that want to watch that interview with Hitler, huge. I mean, what a broader perspective. You want to go to Channeling Eric with a K, and Jamie Butler is interviewing Hitler as Elise, Eric's mom, is interviewing her. And so, you know, Channeling Eric Hitler video, you want to Google that. It is huge to watch that, to see from that different perspective. It's very healing to watch
Yes.
that. It really
If
was.
I may also suggest, it was, you know, those suggestions that YouTube, you think those are just pure occasional because you know you're viewing what you're viewing, but many of them are just put there by your I don't know, by Eric, by guide, so that you can actually get to hear what you know.
Yep.
I was, you know, I follow Allison, so I was, hey, a new video from Allison is there, and she said, before you view this video, this live, I'm not, it was not a live actually, it was an interview of me talking to both Michael and Lucifer at the same time. Pause it and please go to read to hear Pamela uh, about this. I'm like, okay, I don't have time, but let's see, I'll try. So,
You're so
so I
fun.
stopped it. So I did that, and oh my God, it was, you know, and so them explaining exactly this as to the essence of love and why did this all come about. And then Allison, and then you, the video, the live that you and Sasha did on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
on exact same thing. Now,
Yep.
do you think really this is a coincidence that all of us are talking about Lucifer? That's
No,
it. We
there's
need
many,
to
many of us.
start,
Yeah. Well, I
we need to
mean,
start learning love and
yeah,
even those difficult loves, if you will.
yeah. And that was a difficult one for me. And it was for a lot of mediums that were beginning to channel that information. But when you see it from a broader perspective and you see the bigger picture, you see it from a different perspective. And thank goodness we're beginning to see it from a higher vibrational, different perspective. Thank goodness. So
Yeah.
if
Oh,
you want
someone
to
is
see,
asking, who's Eric? Oh, yay.
so Eric is has crossed over, and his mother has started a YouTube channel called Channeling Eric with a K, Eric with a K, and we are
My buddy Eric.
suggesting that everybody goes and checks out that channel, but also checking out the interview, Channeling Eric Hitler interview, so you'll get a broader perspective of it. There's a soul that came forward and what basically dimmed his light to the point where he played a role for the broader perspective of humanity to shift us in a different direction. It's hard to see it from
Absolutely.
that vantage point that we've been taught in school and in society. Bad, you know, but we're suggesting you broaden your horizon and see it from a broader perspective,
Totally.
which spirit
Totally. That's
shows
exactly what
in that
helps us.
interview. Yeah.
So
Spirit shows a broader
putting
perspective.
our ego, thank you. So putting our ego into a, okay, you cannot turn it off because, you know, when they say turn off ego, no, ego is there
God.
actually to keep us safe. And we need,
Yeah.
exactly. We
But
need
you
our
could,
ego.
instead of the
Sorry.
passenger seat, you can just, a lot of
Yeah,
people say love your ego, you know. If, focus on self-love, focus on the path in which you discussed so far in this video. But, the ego doesn't have to be up here in the passenger seat either. It can be back in the back of the van in the back seats. So it's
totally.
always still going to be
Totally.
there. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So that that helped us into the learning how not to judge love, not to decide, oh, wrong, not love. Right, let's love.
Exactly. Exactly. Boy, you nailed that. So, is there any guidance that God would like to channel through? I think what I'll do is I'll tune in and see. Um, God's just right in here like this. Thank you, dear one. It's an honor and a pleasure to be able to communicate through you upon this fine day. Love. God's laughing. Like this. This is what you all truly are. Sparks. The essence of me. Love. Light and love. You are all beings of light and love. Okay, and now it's off to you, Fabiana. God is handing it off to you now.
Do not, if you can, rush into the putting the ego first or making decisions only with your heads.
Yes.
I said only because it's hard for the humans to not consider making decisions with heads. Fine, you have it. You have it, you use it. Do not, please try to remember, some decisions can be actually much better taken with heart, much better pondered, coming from your heart chakra. Yes. Your heart has its own intelligence. Mm-hmm. Please remember that our talk, our thoughts, it's also the food that you're giving to your energetic body. You will learn. You will learn how to pay attention to what you're saying, how the words that you're going to say with your mind or with your mouth will actually make you feel, and you will start categorizing. Okay, categorizing. Just ask for help. I'm here.
Okay, I can feel God's here with me. Here we go.
Right here, sitting on my head.
Right back here with me, right here. It's a two-way street, communication, is it not? I communicate with each of you, dear ones, daily, in ways in which many of you are not aware or observing. Some of these ways are pondering upon and or using claircognizance, having amazing, wonderful, not amazing, but wonderful ideas, suggestions that enter your mind and you're not quite sure where they came from. There are moments I communicate with you through your body and clairsentience, intuition, feeling if a certain path is best for you or not, a certain knowing within, a feeling, a knowing. These are the ways in which I communicate with the majority of you on a daily basis. However, communication is a two-way street, is it not? It is important for you to speak with me. Should you request, should you need help, guidance, and assistance, I am here. And so is your team of angels, your angelic team. If you feel as though it is too far of a stretch for you to communicate with me, communicate with your angels. Thank you, dear one. Oh, it's back over to you. And you know it too, don't you? Because God's going like this.
I do, but I'm hearing directly. Take questions.
Okay.
People want to ask questions. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a pressure. It's a pressure on your head. So you got your crown chakra here. And then you have your pineal gland access point back here. And right now I'm feeling God here. It's kind of a pressure feeling or energy. You feel energy. Sometimes when spirit comes around, God's laughing. When spirit comes around to communicate, whether it's God or a deceased loved one or your angels, whomever it is, sometimes you'll get a little lightheaded. Sometimes when the angels open up and really want to talk to me, I'm like, okay, step back. That's usually when they're really trying to get my attention for somebody else. Yeah. Or go ahead.
Yes.
How? Yeah.
Just, you feel like either a draft of air, and you're like,
Yes.
I haven't opened anything.
And
Or you
sometimes
feel
right on your
touched a little
face.
bit.
You're like,
Or
what?
touching the tip of my nose.
Oh, yes. Oh, my angel loves to stroke my face or in my hair. You're looking for sensations. Where is the energy? Right now, I'm feeling a hand on my shoulder, and I'm not sure whose hand this is. Energetically, I feel a hand, not like a hand. Although there have been times where I'm half asleep and I can hear someone kneeling on my bed and moving around, and I was like, who is that? And in the moment, I was having a very stressful dream about an ex-boyfriend, and I could feel this energy just going boom, boom, boom into my heart chakra, like it was so intense. And I said, please stop. Who is that? And it was my angel. She was chatting with me, kneeling around on my bed. So you may feel different things. Oh, I hear, I am here, dear one. I have an idea of who's here because it's golden and wonderful.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it's Jesus Christ, the soul of Jesus. Yes. And that's whose hand is on my shoulder. It's like this, right? Letting me know he's here. Most of the time he tickles the tip of my nose and I go, oh. So that's another way spirit gets your attention. Or you get like a lot of energy through your throat chakra and you just start coughing for no reason.
That's the
Oh,
thing. That's the thing.
that's when I'm like, okay, still my mind, quiet my mind. Who's talking? And then I just see what I can pick up. So Jesus is here. Jesus would like to let everyone know that he too is available should you wish to speak with him. And you can talk to him inside your mind or out loud, or you can write it down on a piece of paper. He will be right there. There are no time-space constraints for him. He'll be with you and with everybody else all at the same time because he's an omnipresent being of light and love. He's just sending his love to each of you. He's ready to do some healing. He's ready to do some healing.
Yep.
So call upon him because he says, what are you doing? He's trying to be funny. He's going, because I'm kind of a master in healing. Ah, thank you. Okay, so he's still here. He's just going to hang out and watch. So let's get some questions. What questions does everybody have? We'll take, 5 to 10 questions on love, self-love. Any questions that you have? And Belinda's just laughing. Hi, Vesna. Okay, perfect. He sees it. He hears you. He's coming. Those are his words. Here he comes down. Ask him for anything you want help with. So you just, start laying it out. I want help healing with everything is what I would say if I were you. Because he can work some serious magic and miracles. And some stuff I didn't even know I really needed help with. And then, wow, it was even better. I didn't even realize. And it was wonderful afterwards. So I just asked, how to love our enemies.
Can I take that, please?
Absolutely. Yes.
Sasha and I come from a particular area of the world where the conflict has been going on. Actually, not so much right now, but there has been so much conflict going on. The Balkans, Southeast Europe, right? A lot of things have been happening, people doing things to each other, like even similar things to Second World War, if you will. But see, Sasha and everyone else, this is the suggestion that I, as a person, am getting right now. Okay, thank you.
A lot of energy here.
Yes, and too close. I'm boiling.
Yeah, me too. I need it set back.
Too close.
Step back a bit.
So, what I have to offer, please it your messages to digest. Remember the words that
You're chopping up.
just said.
You're chopping up there. The video's chopping up.
Do you hear me?
No, you're chopping up.
Okay.
Just give me a second. Step back.
People hear. Yes.
It's your voice chopping.
So big.
Shoot. Okay, so
now.
let's.
How is it now?
Let's ask the energy to step back. It's a lot of energy coming in.
That's what I felt, and the headache.
And the nausea.
Oh my God.
And the lightheadedness, and we're getting engulfed, and now it's affecting the choppy video. So
okay,
I think it's better now.
Do you hear me now?
Yes. Go right ahead.
So what I'm hearing is, please know one thing. All this happening, all the third dimension experiences have been contracts that your souls have decided to experiment, to bring about. You have been choosing each other. You have been pulling each other into these realities to experiment, to expand, to prove. But not only to expand simply, let me go try this game, like playing a video game. Let me expand what comes out of it. Remember, the ultimate goal is love. The ultimate goal is healing. How would you ever even know the healing and the love if that did not come about? Please know that it is the judgment and the ego in between. Say it again, you're too fast. Please back a little bit. Thank you. It is, yes, the ego and the minds that cause the conflicts, bring about the conflicts, create the conflicts, and we all buy into that. Don't forget that one person only or one side only cannot create a conflict, right? We all buy into that. We all get involved into that. And that's how things happen. I'm not to say that you are as guilty as the other one. And the word guilty is not even a word that I want to talk about. What I'm saying is, love is, you're too fast and you're too close, please. Thank you.
Let's start full on. I'm asking to step back too.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This topic is very important, and energy.
Yes.
The energy is coming in because the topic is so important right now in what is coming through. And I know I'm next, so you go ahead, Fabiana.
Yeah. So they were saying, look at yourself. Keep loving yourself. Keep talking the talk of yourself. Do not. Please remember that the what? Oh. So please remember, the sensation itself is paining. The pain itself is hurting. The fear itself is terrified. The hate itself is hating and hating for the fact that it's hating. What? Okay. Wow. Okay. Just know that is the quality that comes about, and that's the quality that poisons your hearts and poison the you said energy, that poisons the whole environment, just like that a chemical bomb in a river. That's it. It's in the river. The fishes die. No animal can drink from it. That's it. What we need to do is just run and hug that feeling. Run and hug the fear. Run and hug the terror. Run and hug the hate. There. It's all okay. It's all good. Don't worry. Love yourself. Love that feeling. You will be surprised how that will be turned off just like a switch. And do not view the person that caused that war, conflict, fight, the friend who spoke bad about you, the neighbor who, I don't know, did something bad to you. Look at what is happening and heal the what, heal your heart. The neighbor will disappear. you will not even know about him anymore. Wow. Oh, I think, oh my God, it's okay.
Oh,
thank you.
Smokes. My turn.
That was a little long. I'm sorry.
No, that was beautiful. And I'm so emotional when you started saying all that. I think a lot of people are, because we're not just hearing it, we're feeling it from spirit. I'm asking who is speaking, and I'm hearing all of us. Oh, I'm not going to cry.
I know.
That close. Because the love that they have for us is immense. And they want that for ourselves and for all others in our experience, irregardless of how they have treated us and how they have treated others, including the earth, the animals, other humans. Love them and send them love. That's Jesus. But I have many here with me. Sit in that uncomfortableness of that judgment, that fear, that emotion, and send that part of the world love. Send that person love. Send that group of people love. He is suggesting sending ISIS love. Send the ruler of North Korea love. Send all of the inhabitants in areas of the world like Syria, South Africa, and other areas love. Send the people love. Send the soil love in that region. Love it. Send it love. If that is difficult for you in the moment, simply sit for even 5 seconds and picture white light coming out of your hands like this, and send it love, send it white light, and so it is, so shall it be done. Amen. Oh, that was immense.
That was really so much.
This is how I wish
God.
for each of you to move forward in your life experiences as you step forward on your paths. This is how I wish for you to be from this day forward. When you watch the news and you see something tragic resulting in chaos, war in local area or in certain areas, send them love. Picture many of us doing this as a huge group or a collective on the earth plane doing this, and what impact we can make upon these people, these groups of people, individuals, the land itself, the politicians, the ones who are ruling and or in power. Send them love. That is how you make and or bring about the changes in which you so wish and wish to see upon the earth plane.
I just read, I'm sorry, I just read a lovely message of Reina. Reina, you're being led, my dear. You're being guided. She just said, if we all did this for 5 minutes, it would change so much.
Huge.
It's true.
Huge.
It's
and if that's too much of a stretch for you, just aim for 20 seconds and then do a minute the next time and then move in that direction. And no matter how much you feel hatred or fear or judgment towards these people, send them love. Just sit and send love. And that is the path towards love and peace upon the earth. And this is the beginning of the creation of paradise upon earth. Amen. And that's coming from Jesus.
Yes.
But there are many here Many. I feel like I have a whole bunch of archangels here. I have God here. I have Jesus here. I have my team of angels over here. Anybody else? Oh, I've got Eric from Channeling Eric hanging out with JC. He's high-fiving me, so I'm high-fiving him back. He wants me to plug his channel one more time. So go to Channeling Eric on YouTube, Channeling Eric, Eric with a K, and start watching some of that content, he says.
Yeah, so many. And read the blog. The blog is just awesome.
And the books. I've heard they're amazing too.
I read one of them only. That was like just a story, just to read the story. And he tells it with such genuinity, you know, like, I mean, yeah, this is what happened when I passed, when I shot myself. And I'm like, and that's how you learn how things actually, the perspective, that's exactly what I'm being made aware of continuously over and over and over again. Being made aware of the different perspective. The perspective, these glasses are the ones that put the ego in front of us and the judgment. Do you want to take any other questions, Christine?
Yes. Let's see if we can just get a few more questions before we
just
head off.
Let's see where we're guided. We're guided.
And we don't choose, you guys. Just know that we have a lot coming in right now. This is a lot of energy. I got a whole ton of energy pulling through the top of my head right now. I'm asking who this is. Eric and Jesus. And they're ready to take your questions. Rena, are you awake? Eric's laughing and saying the fact that you're here watching this is the answer. He says you're in the beginning of awakening and you will continue to awaken further. And the more you watch these videos and this content and the curiosity of the learning and growing, the more you will awaken. And God is going to help you continue on this path of awakening. Okay. Anybody else? Eric and Jesus are here.
See. I'm guided at this question of Megan. What's blocking me, if you can answer?
Okay.
Well, immediately I was attracted by your question because someone is doing this to me. This is blocking us. This is blocking so many of you. The glasses that you have in front of you, the filters given to you, the formation given to you, the ego, the judgment. This is good, this is bad. What's bad cannot be loved, cannot be considered. What's good, sure, be loved. The judgment, even on the food that we eat. Yeah, of course, there are higher vibrational foods. Yeah, of course, there are higher vibrational thoughts. Let's start. Say it again. Let's unplug from judging even ourselves, even our thoughts, even our clothes, even our skin, even our hair, and start self-talking, positive, self-encouragement, and let's see where we get. I'm getting, Megan, also relationships at work. Their drama is not your drama. Just look inwards. If people around you at work just, bad mouth or even explain something bad about their work and they drag you down because that affects you, remind yourself how, oh, I see, so and so it's happening to them. I'm sorry, but not to me. That's all I'm getting.
Just side note on that, if you do have a lot of drama in your workplace or low vibrational energy there, you can call on Archangel Michael to come move into your workplace and move into your home. Highly recommend it, because Archangel Michael will shield the outside energy, and anything low vibrational will not enter. He'll also vacuum and cut cords. It just makes it much more of an enjoyable environment. Here's this question for you, Jesus. Kelly had a healing done and it wasn't exactly what she expected. So what do you have to say about this healing? Okay. So Eric says he wants to take this one and Jesus is letting him step forward. Okay. Eric's saying, many of you who have healings completed or done, you may experience the healing in the moment, or you may not. But irregardless, the healing is occurring and goes on occurring for days afterwards. He says it's like we're an onion and we have so many layers of past hurts, traumas, low vibrational thought patterns, belief systems. And some of us build up these walls around us. He says, peeps, you know who I'm talking about. And even some of y'all have the ego that runs more dominantly. He says, not saying that that's you, Kelly, but he's saying that a lot of people do have that. They're more coming from the ego and the mind rather than the heart center. So of course you may not feel as though you're having a healing being completed, and it may not be noticeable in the moment. However, the healing is taking place, and there is going to be the effects of this that will arise in different areas of your life. He says possibly, and possibly not. He's showing the onion again and all these layers. And so each healing is helping to remove the outer layers, but there's still many other layers here. And that takes time. That takes time, y'all. That takes time. So what do we suggest? Well, you could have another healing completed, or you can call upon us to come and heal you should you wish. But just remember the words that I just spoke, that I just said in regards to the mind and the ego being dominant and the layers. So we're peeling back layers. Those of you who are more coming from the heart center, open, you've done the shadow work, you've done the inner work, and you are more coming from a higher vibrational frequency. You should be feeling the energy during the healing. But irregardless, even if you don't, the healing is occurring. Also, Eric wants to talk about there are certain things in which our souls signed up for before coming into this life experience. So for example, with this one, he's talking about me. I signed up to have ulcerative colitis. He's teasing me. He's like, bit too much on the booze. Hey, Kristen. And I had a predisposition in my family, genetics, with bowel issues, but it was all meant to happen. I was meant to have this illness. Because he says, where would you be now if you didn't have that illness? And I say, no kidding. No kidding. If I didn't have that in the moment, I was like, this is the worst thing ever. Why is this happening to me? I can't believe this is taking place in my life. But ultimately, my soul chose that experience in my contract to learn and grow from, because it's massive contrast. It's not enjoyable, but you learn and grow a lot from it. Those contracts that each of y'all make cannot be wavered, and no amount of healings will alter that. We can make it easier, we can make it a little better, but we cannot heal it completely. He says this one had to have her bowel cut out in order to resolve that issue. Otherwise, she would have died. I agree, 100%. I don't feel sad about it. It's just the way it is. It's just how it was. I'm way happier now. Way happier now. But all that was a learning experience. So that's my answer, Eric says. Okay, so Let's see where we can go here. Kim wants to know if she's too much in her head. You want to take that one?
What was our question again, please?
Oh. Am I too much in my head?
Okay. I heard, aren't you all?
Yeah.
Jokes apart. Well, again, let's start by not even judging that.
Yeah.
You are in this dimension. It is inevitable for you to be in your heads. That said, many of you believe that you all need to silence your mind, that you need to get out of your mind, that you need to shut up your mind, that you need to... May I please refrain and re-explain a little bit what we would like more to see? Your mind is, again, just like that child that is sitting on the carpet and playing, and you want to send an email or cook. What do? You do not suffocate that child or ask that child not to move at all. The child will keep moving, but the child is right there, safe on the carpet, not going anywhere, not getting hurt, simply playing. You removed the attention from that child and you are writing your email or you're ironing or you're cooking. Please use this visual. You're never going to get out of your heads. You're never going to shut entirely your minds. It's not even natural for you. All we would like to see more is be friends with that mind child sitting on the carpet playing where you're busy doing something else. And by that, I mean to say, reading, hearing, and loving your heart chakra and getting the messages from your heart chakra, from your heart. Sorry, just your heart, not only heart chakra, from the heart. Yes, the moment you start understanding how to be friendly even about, let me not be so much in my mind, in my head, it's going to be a lot easier for you. It's going to be a lot better. Removing the judgment of, oh, I'm so much in my head. I don't like my mind. That was it. And they sat down. And when they finish, they go like this. They sit down. Okay.
Wow. That was really needed. Really, really needed.
I'm sorry, I tilted my mobile while I was looking at what they were showing. I didn't see this.
It's okay. So what does one do? We'll wrap this up with a broad one for everybody. What does one do when they want more and they want to move in this direction and they want to move on the path of awakening and they want to learn and grow more? Keep learning. Keep watching high vibrational content that resonates with you. If you get a tightness in your chest or nausea in your tummy, don't watch that content. And that goes with the TV, movies, YouTube videos, all of it. Keep reading spiritual content and keep learning and growing from others. With whom you resonate with. I'll let you go ahead, Fabiana, there.
I want to connect exactly to what you just said. Adding grounding, it's important.
Huge.
Even when you cannot get out in the nature, just take off your shoes, put your feet on the floor. I know it's floor, I know it's bricks and it's not really the nature, but that will...
Ground floor. Ground floor.
They're saying, can you hear me?
Yep. I'm just saying, if you have a ground floor of your house, aim for that. Or you
even
talk to and then you talk to the earth.
Even
have a good chat with her.
That is okay, because sometimes we realize that it's not possible for you to just go out in the nature because you may be too far. You're in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
The act of you putting your feet on the floor will immediately give the message. Mother Earth reaches you even there. Just put the intention
really
into the
does.
grounding.
Yeah.
Ground yourself. So when you feel overwhelmed, just breathe. That will immediately unplug you from the circle of thinking. Just request help and say, all right, this is too overwhelming. Please help me in this moment. You will be amazed how fast we will come in your assistance.
Oh, is that ever true?
The judging is hurting a lot. Judging your thoughts, judging yourself, judging even your love. Just love and don't judge and don't think. You will be amazed how much your heart is going to teach you.
Okay. So beautiful. Okay. The last thing Jesus wants to say is replace the judgment, replace the fear, the anger, the disappointment with your hands up like this for even 5 seconds, he says. Even just 5 seconds. Send them love. Send them light from your hands. Picture it. Send them love. And so it shall be done. If we all do this, think of the changes that will unfold globally. And so it shall be done. And so it shall be done. Amen.
Amen.
Have a wonderful, blessed Monday, everybody. Sending you my love. Sending you my love, Fabiana.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah,
Bye.
Fabiana, you're the best.